The second pick will be made by the San Antonio Spurs, and that means that the number one pick in the 2025 NBA Draft goes to the Dallas Mavericks.
The unthinkable has just happened. The Dallas Mavericks just won the 2025 NBA Draft Lottery. With only a 1.8% chance, they've defied the odds and secured the number one overall pick. But this isn't just about luck. This could rewrite the entire future of the franchise. Just months ago, they were ridiculed for trading away Luka Dončić, their five-time All-Star, their franchise icon. The NBA world called it a disaster. Then came the injuries, the losses, the chaos, the heartbreak. But now everything has changed. Against all odds, it might have all just paid off. Now, to truly understand just how insane this moment is, we need to rewind to February. Because on February 2nd, the NBA witnessed what might have been the most shocking trade in league history. The Dallas Mavericks, in a move that sent shockwaves through the basketball world, traded away Luka Dončić to the Los Angeles Lakers. Fans in Dallas were stunned. Luka wasn't just a superstar, he was the franchise. A five-time All-Star. A 26-year-old already with more All-NBA selections than Steph Curry, and just a year removed from leading the Mavericks to the NBA Finals. But Mavericks GM Nico Harrison saw things differently. He shipped Luka out, and in return brought in Anthony Davis. A great player, sure, but one clearly in the second half of his career. Alongside Kyrie Irving, Dallas pushed all their chips into a win-now duo, and for about 30 minutes, it looked brilliant. Until it didn't. Davis injured himself after just one half in his Mavericks debut. He missed nearly 2 months. Then on March 3rd, disaster struck again. Kyrie Irving, the last hope, tore his ACL just 9 minutes into a game. Suddenly, the season was over before it ever really began. Dallas limped to the finish line, barely grabbing the 10th seed. Their finals dreams from just a year ago were a distant memory. The locker room was defeated, the fan base furious. Nico Harrison even had to get extra security outside his own home. This team looked broken, hopeless, like it was spiraling into darkness. But there was still a chance. A 1.8% chance to rewrite a disaster. Then came May 12th, a date that may have just saved the Dallas Mavericks from one of the most questionable trades in NBA history. Heading into the 2025 NBA Draft Lottery, no one, and I mean no one, expected the Mavericks to walk away with the number one pick. Their odds? Just 1.8%. Practically zero. The pick was expected to go to teams like Utah, Washington, Charlotte, maybe New Orleans. You know, teams that didn't have Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis. But the NBA had other plans. Because when the final card was revealed, it read, Dallas Mavericks. Against all odds, the Mavericks had landed the number one pick in the draft. To put that into perspective, only 3 teams in NBA history have ever won the lottery with worse odds. Dallas had made history, all thanks to a few ping-pong balls and maybe a little bit of fate. But why does this matter so much? Why is this different? After all, plenty of teams have picked first overall and still stayed irrelevant. Well, every now and then, a prospect comes along who isn't just a good player. He's a franchise changer, a generational talent, sky-high ceiling, future legend potential. And this year, the consensus number one pick might just be that guy. Now let me introduce you to Cooper Flagg. This isn't just the top prospect in the 2025 draft. This is a player whose name was penciled in at number 1 before he even set foot on a college court. There were scouts saying he would have gone first overall last year without a single minute of college play. That's how undeniable his talent is. Flagg is a 6'9" do-it-all forward, a true two-way force. Offensively, he's polished beyond his years. He's got a knockdown jumper, elite court vision, and the ability to create for both himself and his teammates. Defensively, he's a menace. Relentless energy, elite instincts. The kind of guy who can guard all 5 positions and make game-changing plays on that end. In his lone college season, he put up 19.1 points, 7.6 rebounds, and 4.2 assists per game, all while locking up the opposing team's best player. He doesn't need the ball to make an impact, but when it's in his hands, magic happens. Cooper Flagg is the rare prospect who's both NBA ready today and still has the potential to grow into a Hall of Fame caliber star, a Swiss Army knife, a culture changer, a future franchise cornerstone, and now he's heading to Dallas. The Mavericks might have just stumbled into their next generational talent. A new era in Dallas is underway. Pairing Cooper Flagg with Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis almost feels unreal. Rarely, almost never, Does the number 1 pick land in a situation where the team is already this stacked? Usually, top picks go to rebuilding teams with no clear direction. But Dallas? They have championship pieces already in place. This situation echoes one of the most legendary draft outcomes in NBA history, the 1997 San Antonio Spurs, a team that only ended up in the lottery because David Robinson was injured. They landed the first pick, selected Tim Duncan, and the rest, 5 championships. Now, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Even 1 championship would be a monumental success, but it's hard not to see the parallels. We always hear it. This team is just 1 piece away. Cooper Flagg might be that piece. For a Mavericks team trying to rewrite its future, this may be the beginning of something special. After all the chaos of this season, from a finals appearance to trading away the face of the franchise, to somehow landing the number 1 overall pick, I don't know if we've ever seen a roller coaster quite like this in NBA history. The Dallas Mavericks have become the perfect example of why you never count a team out, because in this league, anything can happen. The furious fans in Dallas, who once called for new ownership, can finally breathe. After watching their front office trade away the heart and soul of the team, they now have a generational talent on the way. It almost feels scripted, like the NBA had a master plan in motion the entire time. Trade Luka, suffer the fallout, then land a potential franchise savior just months later. You couldn't write this. And perhaps the happiest man of all? Nico Harrison. Once the most hated man in Dallas, now possibly the mastermind behind one of the most shocking turnarounds in league history. His job might have just been saved, and this franchise might have just won the most controversial trade in recent memory. Only time will tell. But if there's one thing this season has taught us, it's that even with just a 1.8% chance, miracles can happen.